All right. Looks like we're ready to start. Okay. So, hello, everyone. It is the Sunday again. It's time for me to yell at the screen and yell into this microphone again for your entertainment. For I am a clown. Anyway, if this is your first time here or whatever, my name is GamePenguin21. I mainly play a lot of video games and stuff, but this is basically my weekly stream where I come on and basically talk about gaming news that I'm not going to be able to cover for a while. I mainly do this just because I can, and it's fun. But we're also going to be playing some more Sulfur today. It's going to be a great time, a lovely time, a lovely, jubbly, amazing time. But we have some a lot of really dumb news to get through. Even some YouTube news, which is stuff you don't get often. And I don't really cover on the channel other than in some of these live streams and stuff. But yeah, if you want to come and check out all the links that should be in the channel. I never put them in the description of my streams because it gets annoying to do that. But essentially, YouTube is mainly what I do, but I also do commissions and stuff, so check me out on other platforms and things through the links and the stuff. I also have a coffee you can donate to. You could donate directly to the channel if you really want to. But a like and subscribe is always enough. So yeah, love all y'all, and let's, I guess, get started with today, what's happening in the world of everything. Let's see. Boop. There we go. All right. So obviously, like I said, most of these are from Twitter X stuff, and I should probably do that just in case. Hope we might have some more people coming in. I don't expect to have more people coming in because I never have guests on this show. I'm adjusting one of the things. Anyway, with all that being said, hello. Let's actually get started with some of the news here. Starting, of course, off with probably the stupidest news to come out this week, actually. The 18th, basically, they said, hey, AI videos are coming to YouTube Shorts. Oh my god, this is all ass. I hate this. Oh my god. No. Why did they advertise? That's the first time I've actually unmuted that. Hello, Rhino. But yes, today we are talking about this, and this is so awful. Jesus, you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. AI slop coming to YouTube. No one likes this. Odyssey, this is the one that I kind of saved here, but no one likes this. Just taking a look through even just the replies here, you can basically just oh yeah, AI and all this other cool stuff. This is so bad, dude. Ugh. I thought the AI idea generator was bad. This is yeah, this is terrible. No one likes that. Genuine trash, absolutely. Jesus Christ. I really like slop. Yeah. It's really dumb. It's we won't monetize AI content, and then also YouTube, but let's make it easier to produce AI slop. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no one likes this. This is just awful and just genuinely... Our this was the funniest response I had. Our expectations were low, but holy fuck. Yeah, exactly. Because again, this is literally just YouTube saying, "Oh, we don't want YouTube to be home to AI garbage videos because we appreciate creators." And then it's just "Oh, we're doing this." Look at how garbage all of this looks. AI videos and stuff. It just doesn't look good, dude. It's so bad. It's so bad, dude. So bad. But yeah, I just wanted to start off with probably some of the worst news here today, just because it's just so annoying. But then we have this, which it's gonna go hand in hand with the thing later. But Dying Light the Beast has come out recently. I actually kind of really like this one. I love the Dying Light franchise. They have some good stuff. And look at this beautiful gameplay, too, right here. This is great and amazing. Why is my mouse all fucky up? But this is amazing gameplay. Very good fluid motion. Looking nice, looking great. And, yep, YouTube looks for money in AI makings. It's not good. It's just is bad. It is real bad. But yeah, Dying Light the Beast came out. This one actually has Kyle Crane coming back. Again, I really want to get this game. Like if I get it, I'm definitely would be playing this on stream all the time because this is like Dying Light's my fucking everything. I have Dying Light 1 and 2. Dying Light 1 I played through at least like 3 or 4 times. I'm gonna be honest there, Chief. I played through it a fuck ton of times. Like on console and not on console. Definitely a good game. But but again, to go into what this is, like talking about Randy Pitchford here, this is basically in a response to oh wait, you get the game for free if you have Dying Light 2 Ultimate. Do I actually have that? Because I think I have the Ultimate Edition. Do I not? Maybe I should check that really quickly. Dying Light 2 Reloaded Edition. Did I not? I guess I didn't get it. I thought that I did. That's neat. I thought that I did have the Ultimate Edition. What the fuck? Hold on. Let me just page really quickly. Yeah. Anyway. Why is my mouse all fucking... yeah, I have that. I thought that I had the Ultimate Edition. Maybe I didn't. And I'm just dumb. Yeah, maybe I didn't. Boo. Because I have the Bloody Ties DLC. Oh, you can get both. Yeah. Dying Light Essentials Edition, Dying Light 2 Stay Human. I don't want that. I want the Beast. I want this one. Like this is the one that I want. Yeah. Maybe I'm just weirded out by it. Damn. Angry. Oh well. Whatever. At the end of the day, it's still funny. I only have Dying Light. Not the second one because the second one is not for me. I mean, I guess the second one actually is vastly improved. Ever since they did like the Reloaded edition and like the Reloaded update, they've actually made it far better because you can now have guns. And the parkour system is much more fleshed out. I think this one, like they said that this one has like a good fusion of the two, if I remember specifically. But again, sorry for that weird ass. Stop that fucking shit. Mouse, please. Like, just move. Move how I want you to. Where is it? Yeah, talking about like Borderlands 4. Since we're on the topic of Borderlands 4, might as well go and talk about Borderlands 4. Not gonna look at those notifications. But yeah, looking at Borderlands 4. People were talking about, oh yeah, the issues with the console here has been like, oh, this is all garbage, and like it's been garbage on the PC and stuff, but the console itself has also been like not great because 30 to 40 FPS at about 2 hours of having it, and they have like weird optimization things, and I think if I remember correctly, it's this one. No, it's not that one. Yeah. Where they can't even reach 60 FPS and 4K on that with a 5090. Again, it gets double. It like doubles in 1080. It's really weird. Where this person already did this. It's like I'm having a hard time believe that since my 4080 does 120 FPS with DLSS and frame generation on ultra, complete and maxed out, it looks amazing. DLSS plus frame generation is a tech that you should definitely take advantage of if it's a reason. It's like frame gen does not equal to real FPS, and like that's true. Like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you could just use frame generation and stuff. Like that's what we do. That's why our frames are really good. It's like no, you're not getting good frames really, dude. Like they're fine for whatever they are, and it downgrades all consoles over time, and it drops to like start after 30 minutes to 720p. Jesus Christ, 720p at 35 FPS after an hour? What the hell? Hold on, I gotta listen to this. This is Digital Foundry, I believe. So let's listen to this.
On PS5 and even dipping into the mid-30s. This is around 4 hours in and puts the game well outside of the ideal 48 to 60 Hz VRR window for PS5 systems.
Yeah.
Next along, a later Wrath of the Ripper Queen mission after 6 hours of continuous play takes the player to a new desert wasteland portion of the world. Right away, the reading tumbles, with entire battle set pieces playing out at between 30 to 40 FPS, which is where I called it quits. Now, it's good to stress that some battles and some hectic moments with lots of NPCs, destruction physics, and bland drive, and also the Rush the Gate mission, where there are still some lingering dips into the mid-50s. Still, this is mostly where you'd expect base PS5's frame rate to be, and it puts it squarely within VRR range to boot. Reloading each mission with a fresh boot, it's a night and day difference, and ultimate proof that those earlier sub 40 FPS drops aren't just as a result of areas simply being more taxing. So long as I avoid any more than 30 minutes of continuous play, the reading stays close to the 60 FPS mark in the very same spot.
That's so weird. So like it drops off after just 30 minutes of gameplay on the console. That's kind of insane. So yeah, I mean, again, that's not terrible. I mean, yeah, performance does drop, but again, like there's stuff like that. Like it's premium games for premium players. Like, yep, absolutely. There's a good game in there, but the performance is dog. Yeah, no, it's so weird. Let's see. I have to say, you can change graphic settings in Borderlands 4. I think no. That's not the issue.
On PS5,
the issue has not been changing graphical settings like ever. Like that's not the problem. The problem, as you saw, like again, this is the one. This is talking about consoles. So there is a performance mode. There is a performance setting that's absolutely true. It's fine, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about how the actual gameplay is dropping frames, and on console you can't really adjust that either. And again, like just saying, oh yeah, you can like adjust your settings on PC, that should actually fix the problems and stuff. Like that's literally what Randy Pitchford said. I'm gonna have a video on this probably this week, more into his mega thread, so I'm not gonna go into it here. But he basically was blaming everyone else because he couldn't optimize his game, and like, yeah, oh yeah, you could just use DLSS and subsequently, yeah, no. Not everyone likes it. Not everyone even has access to it. Like, no, it's fine. That's why people are here. Like, you can be like, oh, you can change it. It's like, yes, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, in terms of what I'm talking about here, I'm not talking about changing your settings and downgrading it for lower hardware. That's to be expected. Older hardware will, like, over time degrade and will over time not be as good as, like, new current hardware. But what Randy was saying, and what most people who are kind of defending this are saying, is like, yeah, it runs fine with DLSS and frame generation. Again, like this guy said here. But you shouldn't have to rely on that in order to get good frame rates, is what most people, and like most of myself and other people, are saying. Like, you shouldn't have to rely on this cutting edge, amazing 5090, like that barely anyone has stuff for it. And again, this is the thing on console where it degrades after like just 30 minutes of play, because I guess there seems to be some sort of memory leak or something that happens to it. I'm not sure. I'm not a programmer. I don't know what's happening there. But all that I do know, for whatever reason, is, let me just see this, since whatever. Who cares? I knew looking at that would get me upset. But Like overall, like it's just so dumb that this person's like, oh, oh no, not this person, not this person. Yeah, whatever. You know what I fucking mean. It's fine. And like running like garbage should not be a thing here. It's like, yeah, upgrade your console. Wait, yeah, right? Yeah, like what's your excuse here, dude? Where like it degrades over time like this, and it doesn't look as good, and it gets sub 30, and it's just not as good as it once was. Like, you know how it should go, you know how it should operate and how it should work, but it just you don't have that. So yeah. Um. Yeah, we'll look at the Randy Pitchford basic response to that. But right now we got the Battlefield 6 community forum mods Steam on Steam permanently banning users for mentioning senior developers mocking the yeah. I mean that's fair. Again, like mocking the thing, like you really shouldn't be doing that because like again, I don't like getting political and I'm not going to say anything more on this, but like this is actually fine, and it's just I just don't I just don't want yeah, just like get politics out of gaming. I'm good, dude. I'm good, chief. None of that anymore. And we can just move on from there. We don't even need to talk about it. We're good. Like that's all good. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. Cool. Anyway, next up here we have legendary drops with never seen someone work so hard to destroy the reputation of their game. This is from the 15th last week again. Again, I'm going to be talking about more of this in the full context of this. I think there was a couple of things that I missed out on this, but there was this one here where this guy says, code your own engine and show us how it's done, please. We will be your customer when you pull it off. The only people doing it now are clearly dumb and don't know what they're doing, and all the support recommendations and code and architecture from the world's greatest hardware companies and tech companies working with the greatest real-time graphics engine coders don't know what you seem to know. And again, this comes back to what I was talking about a little bit earlier, where these guys did actually do that. I think that Techland did actually end up making their own engine for the Dying Light games as a whole, like not just Dying Light the Beast, but also Dying Light 1 and 2. Like they've upgraded the engine over time. So they had to make their own engine, and it runs perfectly fine. It runs buttery smooth on all systems as well as it can. And it doesn't have these other problems of having like memory leak issues or completely and literally fucking breaking themselves out of existence for having these sorts of things. And yeah, saying this is like coding your own engine, it sucks because you have to do a lot of calculations and it's like far more work. But once you make the engine, can't you then just do it? This is the I guess this will lead into the notifications that I got here, because this guy's been arguing with me for a couple of days on this, where I basically responded to this person here tonight saying that it runs completely different than UE5, and this is telling someone, hey, my car runs better than your car, and you have two really different cars. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, saying that like that's a good comparison, and I don't get why this is supposed to be like negative, like why this is negative, saying like, oh yeah, my car runs better than your car. Yeah, they're still two different cars, and while they're made by two different manufacturers, like making that comparison's good, because then that means that guess what? If this car, right, runs better than the other car that you're currently paying for, and then the car that you're currently paying for is more expensive, and this car is like less expensive, wouldn't that make this car like better in every aspect rather than, not? Like that just doesn't make much sense to me. But to go back to what this guy's been saying, he's basically saying, if you're using the car analogy, the more fitting one is that the one is F1, one is designed for this, and the other one is not designed for this. It's not like trying to use Battlefield's engine for MMO would wait, that they're dead out. So what and I'm basically saying, like, he's saying that I'm right in this context, where it's like in-house engines are different and blah, blah, blah. The point is that you're proving my point. Here he says, I don't think you yourself getting it, dude. You can't compare Dying Light the Beast with the 4 in terms of technical, because they aren't made with the same standard. Okay, but that's still but that's like, How is that wrong? Like, that's my biggest question right here, is how is that, like, bad? Saying that, like, this game runs bad because it runs on its own engine. Like, they had to do, like, more work. So it should technically be running not as optimized, right? Because the engine technically shouldn't run as bad. It's like Techland would never be able to make a third-person hack and slash with the same engine. But that's not what we're comparing here. They're both first-person shoot. Like, that, where are you going with this? Using the car analogy, one engine is made for one thing, and one thing specifically, the other is made to work for everything. The only exception I can see is at Ubisoft, surprisingly. Snowdrop, same engine, The Division, and South Park, and Rocksmith. No, that's not what we're... That's so bad. Such a bad comparison. Look, I'll just say this to this dude. I'll probably message him back and say, like, that's not how any of this works. You can program an engine to do whatever the fuck you want. And it's like, oh yeah, this engine's just made for this one game. No, an engine's an engine, regardless of anything else. Like, people have made mods using the Techland engine and the mod tools that have been presented from, I believe, Techland or from them. Like Dying Light 1 had a huge modding community, and I think Dying Light 2 also had somewhat of a big modding community, like mod loaders and stuff. And mods are slightly different, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But the thing that kicked this off is like, oh yeah, like when you're trying to use this engine for something else, then that means that it's a bad engine. Like, no, we're comparing gameplay and optimization of the engine to anything else. It's like, oh, you can't make that comparison because they made their own engine. They did more work and they still made an engine that functions better than UE4. I think that's the point that I'm getting across, is that you're proving my point here, that they had all this support, that they had all the things, and that it's a widely used engine. If they've worked with the engine a number of times, they should know how to optimize their engine to make it run appropriately. Like, that's been my whole point this time. Saying like, oh yeah, they and that different architecture runs worse. So by your logic of comparing stars, I would rather have a reliable car that runs like a nice and may look a bit old than a shiny new one that has the problems with it. Like, that's been my point. My point with this is, I would rather have a reliable car that looks and functions the way that it does, and you don't need to do any fiddling or use any like external parts from other manufacturers or something, than have a car that has like all these other problems. Like this right here to me is the Tahoe, while the other one's the Cybertruck. If we're doing the car comparison here. He's like, oh well, this is you can't compare them because they're not to the same standard. Okay, but you should hold them to the same standard. But like, they're not made to the same standard of what? Your standard? Saying that like you can't compare the two? Like, that's not true. You can make comparisons to fucking anything with anything. Like, you can make comparisons so long as they're related, I guess. It's I don't know. This guy pisses me off. It's so annoying and dumb, and he's just fucking wrong. Anyway, moving on. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show much of this. I'm going to pause to just like hopefully not get this taken down, but apparently this is an exclusive first look at the PlayStation 6 handheld, and we're going to kind of move past that a little bit, just so I don't get like claimed immediately, hopefully from Sony, where they're apparently re-releasing it. It looked like a PSP from what you saw there. I'm not going to show any more than I have to, just to get my thing across, but apparently someone got their hands on it. I half expect that to be that way, but with the whole thing with AI being a thing, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything more on it. I just think it's interesting that apparently it's happening. So, whatever, dude. But yeah. Next up here is someone talking about Battlefield 4 stuff. Someone's, I don't know what is happening here, but this person, I guess, is trying to make Battlefield 4 like movement happen, and trying to make the movement community or something. I'm not sure. But here says, the alternative title was going to be Lizards Don't Play Battlefield 4. Then I thought, no, that's cringe. And tried to come up with something as vague as possible so people don't get angry. At most, I was expecting cons to be like, you run like Battlefield 4, you don't run like type stuff. So, Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what else to say. I just kind of had this because I thought it would be neat to talk about, but because I don't really have much to talk about. This I actually do have a fair bit to talk about, where it's Nintendo Prime, talking about how the Switch 2 buyer's remorse isn't real. Oh, God. I kind of want to talk about this now that I actually have this here. I wish that there was other people here, so...
Hello.
Hello. Wow, I say... Oh, Jesus. Massive head. Hold on. Shrink you down on my screen. Okay. Yeah, I find it interesting how I'm like, hey, I wish that there was someone else here, and then just someone appears out of nowhere. Interesting. Yeah, I've been talking about a lot of stuff. With the biggest, where did I put it? Oh, I think I X'd out of it. Boo. Hold on a second. That's the wrong thing. There we go. Right. So we're going
What
through
is happening today?
a lot of things. Again, people need to know I start at 12 p.m. EST my time, so you're kind of, again, 30 minutes late, but as of right now, I'm going through a couple different things. I went through someone replying to me on a dumb argument that I've been having. So try to follow this logic, all right? So we're talking about how Randy Pitchford is like crashing out over people like talking about their optimization, and that making a comparison to Dying Light has been like this whole car comparison thing, right? So I say this.
Right.
I say this. Yeah, and that different so the person says that there's no point in defending there's no point at no point that I defend it. They're two different games with two different architecture. Comparing them is not really a good point is to make, is what I'm saying. And I say the different architecture runs worth, so by the logic of comparing cars, I would rather have a reliable car that runs nice and maybe is a bit old, but then a shiny new one that performs that with more problems than it's worth. In this case, Battlefield 4 is the Cybertruck, while the Dying Light, the Beast, is like a Kia or something. And I was making a comparison. Basically, what I was saying here is that comparing this game, the Beast, to Battlefield, Borderlands 4 running.
4?
Yeah, because Borderlands 4 runs like kind of garbage right now because it's not running good, and this one runs perfectly fine. Yeah.
I've heard stuff about Borderlands 4 not being optimal.
Yeah, no, like it has problems. Like I've talked about how apparently it's dropping to like 30 and 40 on and sometimes sub 30 on consoles, and this person even reported that it drops just after 30 minutes to 720p 35 FPS after an hour. So it goes from like 60 and like it slowly degrades over time, which is like crazy, like it's insane. But this person this person comes along and says it's not a more fitting comparison to be an F1 versus that. It's not like trying to build an engine for RPGs or like that. It's like, oh, that's not what we did. It's like, whatever. I didn't realize the /S was there, but who cares? But that's basically saying like I'm right, and that the manufacturers, despite making different cars, should be able to make those cars / games work in an environment, like work in any, maybe not work in any environment, but work in the environment that I'm talking about. Like, again, we're not comparing a MOBA to an FPS or something. We're comparing two FPS games that are both co-op and single player games that they might have slightly different mechanics, sure, but there's a lot of mechanics that you can compare. And my thing is, if one runs better and runs like a dream and actually has very little, if any, optimization problems, but the other one runs worse and can possibly like have other bugs and issues that people don't know about, I'd rather have this. Like, I'd rather have the boring right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm. That's what I'm basically, my point is. And he's trying to say like, oh, you basically can't compare the two because making an in-house engine isn't comparable to using an engine for everyone in that way. It's like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that that actually proves my point more, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you make an in-house engine, you have to account for all of the shit that comes preloaded in a pre-made engine, and you have to answer all those questions. So it's just like, I don't
You
know.
have to account for like all of the mechanical car parts and stuff.
Yeah, and it also comes from
I don't
this.
know much about cars, but yeah.
Yeah, it also comes from this where he says, code your own engine and show us how it's done, please. We will be your customer when you pull it off. The people doing it now are clearly dumb and don't know what they're doing. And all the support and recommendations in code and architecture from the world's greatest hardware companies and tech companies working with the greatest real-time graphic, blah, blah, blah. But, like, they did. Like, Techland did make this engine, and it is working and running completely fine. So
It looks good.
it's really good. I love the Dying Light franchise. I've played through Dying Light 1 at least 5 times, and Dying Light 2 I have finished my first playthrough. I haven't gone back to play it,
Oh, nice.
but I finished my first playthrough a while ago. But I've been looking forward to this one specifically because this one has my personal favorite character, Kyle Crane, coming back and doing his thing. But it is a little expensive at like $60, which, you know, good on it. But I can't afford that right now. Anyway, exclusive first look at PlayStation's new handheld, which we're gonna skip over because I don't want to get copyright claimed. So
Yeah.
let's not do that.
Good point.
To be fair, it has been up for like
Good
2
point.
hours, so I'm just gonna like gloss over that and be like, apparently there's someone leaked that, so we're just gonna move on. Something about running a Battlefield 4, really nothing. And then we got onto this, which is, I kind of want to watch this now that I'm looking at it, because this is Nintendo Prime, and he's saying that Nintendo Switch 2 buyer's remorse isn't real. And I'm like, what? Like, you can have buyer's remorse about
What?
anything and stuff.
Yeah, buyer's remorse is a thing.
Yeah. But I'll just skip over that for now, because I just realized, like, I also have a couple other things with the new prices for Xbox. Congratulations. You're paying
Oh my
far
stars,
more.
that's expensive.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Have you heard about this? They're increasing the prices like this?
No, but looking at this now, it's
Yes. It's just so. And this is, remember, this is Xbox. Like, I don't like. People will probably say like, "Oh, you're not gonna make a video on this." Like, no, I probably will just mention it in my end of year roundup. But I have 2 other videos that are lined up that I think are far more better to talk about, and I have more to say on it. But this is just sad. Just those prices, man. Just buy a PC. just buy a PC at this point. Like, dude. Ay. My God. Yeah, the Xbox Series S is like the worst offender, where they're like $379 to nearly $400, and then like it's not like a huge massive leap and stuff. Yeah, it's not that. Like, that's not the problem. Right out. Like, that's not the problem, saying like that's inflation for you and blame Trump for this. No, it's really not. It's like the tariffs shouldn't really affect prices this much, because that's just annoying. I think that they're using it as an excuse. I don't know. I just don't know. Like, I don't know. It's just so stupid, because people saying, "Oh, it's the tariffs. It's good old Orange Man doing the bad." Like, no. Why would the Switch be doing it, like a price increase? The Switch 1, by the way, getting a price increase. Why would all the other stuff getting a price increase when, like, I don't know if you remember this, but the PlayStation 5 has been profitable for Sony for years at this point, at least a few years. So, like, I don't know. I don't blame Trump for
I'm
any
still
of this.
just dumb. confounded by the prices.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and look at some of these
Like,
comments. Just burn it down. PC Master Race. Leave the multi-billion-dollar company alone. Hell yeah, I'm looking forward to paying these prices. Who the fuck looks forward to
how are
paying
you
more?
going to pay for these prices? How is anyone going to pay for that?
I don't know. I don't know. Look, Rhino, I'm sorry. Like I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying like blaming it on tariffs is just incorrect because that's not really how this works. Like don't hate yourself, guy. It's fine. The reason why I like to have these streams is to have these talks and conversations because it just makes it fun.
I mean, look at the disc one.
Yeah, I know. Again, I agree with you.
Just
10
jumps from 500 to 6.
Yeah, I definitely. That's yeah, definitely. It's fine. It's saying that it's inflate. Like I would say maybe inflation, but at the same time, like they have been making a lot of money, and maybe not Xbox, but like at least for PlayStation, PlayStation doesn't have any right to increase their or they do have the right to increase their prices absolutely, but like it's just they really kind of shouldn't. It's just it's I don't know, but like Xbox just consoles without exclusives. This one I just thought was funny. Consoles without exclusives are worthless. Sir, consoles are like $800 with $70 to $80 games. Have you seen the effing economy lately? Are you that? I I have nothing to add to this. I just saw this and thought it was really funny. Saying that consoles without exclusives are worthless. Like, if you have to, right, justify a console purchase by buying something that is like unrelated to it, like that's a little scummy, right?
Yeah,
Like that's like saying for me,
pretty much.
yeah, like for me, I bought the Xbox Series X controller just by itself because I wanted it for my PC to play certain video games. But at the same time,
Like Hollow Knight, and Hollow Knight.
what?
Basically any Hollow Knight series,
Hmm. Oh yeah. But
for example.
hey, beyond what? How do you pronounce that?
Anyways, go on.
Yeah, no, Beyond the Live is just saying hi, hello, how's things going? Yeah, Xbox Series X controller. I have it also in electric snot green because it makes people infuriated. Just for that reason is why I got it. It's really funny. But yeah.
Nice.
Well, yeah, because like it's like again it's like baby barf like electric green, but I call it electric snot green, and it's the most annoying color that they add, but it's in my favorite color, so I love it. Oh, is this one? Okay, that's the one we looked at. It's also one we already looked at. Oh, and we have this one. What the heck is this? Oh, it's about the price increases again. It says, to all my Xbox friends, I promise you, Xbox want out of the console space. I know you have your libraries, but it's time to switch to PC or PS as your main and start rebuilding. I left behind my 300 plus Xbox games and switched to PC in 2020, and I couldn't be happier. Nothing personal. I mean, you don't have to be a dick about it.
True.
I'm gonna be honest. I'll be like, absolutely. If you want to switch to PC, I will say congratulations, and you're making some good stuff. But like at the same time, you don't have to be a dick about it like that, dude. Like a little bit of tact.
Yeah, you don't have to be like a complete jerk about showing off or something.
Yeah. JB says most Game Pass subscribers are on console and Microsoft. So you don't need a controller to play video games. Guess what? Someone on YouTube discovered how to play video games without a controller. What? No, that's not what I mean. Beyond Alive, that's not what I mean. I mean that I use my Xbox controller only sometimes. It's an accessory. I mainly use keyboard and mouse, but for like specific video games, I like a controller. Like we were talking about Dying Light earlier. Dying Light on controller for me is far superior than Dying Light on the keyboard and mouse. So that's one of the games that I will never use a keyboard and mouse for. Same with a couple other ones. Not because they were designed that way or that they're cool that way or whatever, just because like it's a comfort thing. Like you can have the option. Like controller accessories are always good. If you want like a really weird controller thing that I had one time, a friend gave me their HOTAS system, which is like
What?
a HOTAS. You don't know what that is?
No.
Here I'll show you a picture. HOTAS. Yeah, HOTAS flight stick. That's what we're looking at. It's this thing. Essentially, it's basically a throttle and a joystick with a bunch of different buttons on it. I say I was watching you. Oh, I was on a YouTube video trying to say someone discover how to play video games without a controller. You understand? Oh, okay. No, I see. So you were just mentioning a YouTube video. That's fine. All right. I guess I misunderstood what you were talking about. Anyway, but that's not what I was talking about. Anyway, moving on from what I was saying to what I'm trying to explain. This is what a HOTAS is. It's basically a flight stick that basically controls the X, Y, and Z, and then the throttle is like the other lever. And it's basically used for things like helicopters and plane flying simulators, mostly. My friend gave me one because we were playing a bunch of... it wasn't Deep Rock Galactic. It was something else. It was like a flight game where you're like a space trucker and stuff. And I loved that game for a while. It was pretty good, pretty solid. You could customize it very much so with this. You could even play it in VR. I forget the specifics of which game it was. But it was fun. It was cool. I still have the HOTAS system in a box somewhere, just kind of chilling. But I looked up the price of what my friend and when he gave it to me. I think it's about like $200. and I got it for free. So I think I just had to pay for shipping or something.
Lucky.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was one of those things where like in a call it just happened. Oh, thank you very much for the follow. Very nice. But yeah, it's definitely fun to have. Again, I don't use it. I don't use it often because, again, I only use it for the one game because I don't play flight sims. But it's cool, and you can play it in games like Arma as well. It just you have to set it up for it. Anyway, that's what the flight stick was. What were we talking about again? Oh, yeah. Next-gen Xbox has been confirmed and backed by a multi-year AMD partnership and a deep commitment to backwards compatibility. Dedicated hardware remains the gateway to its broader ecosystem. I mean, I guess
They're still doing that?
there is going to be at least one more next-gen console that has been confirmed via what they have said. So it's not bad that they're saying that, but like at the same time, I think the standard console of what we know it today. I do too, but
like they're still making stuff.
yeah,
like that?
no, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, they like again. I feel like this GIF is me. Just I have my doubts if it's going to be good or anything, but I'm gonna say for right now, I'm just gonna say this is happening and this is fine. I don't care at the end of the day too much, just enough to be like, oh, this is a thing that happened. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say on that. Anyway, let's take a look at the video from this guy, Nintendo Prime, because this is a Nintendo dude. This is 30 minutes, Jesus.
Oh my stars.
I mean, we got time, so might as well. All right, let's watch this.
Today, folks, we're going to be talking about buyer's remorse and Switch 2, because if you've been paying attention over the last few days, at least on YouTube, there's been a particular video that has gone viral talking about how the Switch 2, here's just the video right here. The Nintendo Switch 2's buyer's remorse is very real.
Oh, it's this guy. The Nintendo Switch 2's buyer's remorse is very real. Huh. I feel like we need to watch that for context now that I'm thinking about it. Because it's right there. The graphics are not going to at all look like a 5090 Beyond. There is no doubt in my mind that they will that like okay. See, they just said if the graphics look like 5090 next gen Xbox will look amazing. I don't think that it will, because the 5090 is like the big tech, like the big cutting edge technology right now today, and the Xbox doesn't come out for another like what 4 or 5 years at this point. I don't think that's gonna happen. Sorry to burst the bubble, but I just don't think that'll happen. It'd be cool if it does. I will happily eat my words if it does, but I would not hold my breath. So anyway.
So there's a pattern that I've seen happening more and more often ever since the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2, and it's the amount of people that seemingly have either regretted their purchase or they feel like they probably jumped in way too soon and should have waited until 2026 at least. And I think there are a number of reasons as to why that could have been. Many of
Oh boy.
Oh, is this the one that
this is the
that destroys?
What?
Is this the console that destroys modding if you ever do mods on it? Like it breaks your complete thing?
Yes. The Switch 2 does do like bricking of things if you use like a make switch and stuff. Now, okay, here. Let me show you something beyond. We were talking about this earlier, but I know that this is just one example, but for Borderlands 4, after an hour, you basically drop to 720p 30 FPS in accordance with like a bunch of stuff. There's apparently a memory leak issue or something. I don't know if this is just one example, but if you're talking about performance and stuff over gaming overall, if you like the console, I'm not going to say don't go out and buy one, but again, given the price increase with the console and stuff, it's just not, it's like it's not really worth it in my opinion. You can have your own opinion. You can say like, oh, I like this and oh, it's fine, but it's hypocrisy of gamers on YouTube. But I do not think you want to watch that. Hope it doesn't piss you off. Again, like it won't really piss me off, but there is I guess there is hypocrisy. I'm not gonna say that there's not. Look, I never speak for anyone other than myself. I do these live streams and I do this opening like a couple hour talking about news because I cannot keep up with the amount of news that happens in the gaming space. That's one of the other reasons why I started my roundup for the month things, where I would just round up a bunch of random stories that I took for screenshots in order to keep up with the amount of news that happens in the gaming space. Like I'm going to be talking about like the Digital Foundry leak or something. I'm going to be talking about the price hikes for Xbox. Like all of that is stuff that's going to happen, but I can't do that in a timely manner because of my upload schedule. So I do these things to kind of get the other opinion. And if you prove me wrong, I'll be like, absolutely, like your opinion's correct and you have that and I'm fine with that. But saying things like, oh, it's catching up graphically to the PC, like I guess, but performance-wise there is a pretty huge gap to it as well. Graphics have kind of hit like a peak now for the most people. I think it's going to cost maybe like $600, $700. I mean, that's not like a bad prediction, but we haven't heard anything about that. Anyway, enough about like Xbox graphics and all this other stuff. I don't want to get into it. The whole PC console space is just, it gets frustrating because
it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I talk about a lot of console fanboys all of the time on the channel. If you want to go check out the YouTube stuff beyond, I talk about a lot of people. Even this week.
Oh, I am well aware.
Yeah, even this week, I also have, just in my personal opinion, so, you know. Also, the internet just decided to die there for a second. Don't worry, it's fine. Yeah.
Oh, really?
For whatever reason, on both Twitch and YouTube, it like my internet always just cracks out at a time, and it just like it dies and it comes back to life, and then I end up with like a video that it's dumb. Anyway, probably YouTube's more reliable, but yeah, stream dies for YouTube stuff. Anyway, let's just watch a bit of this, just so we can get an idea of what we're talking about here. Back on topic.
Of which have already been discussed on this channel pretty in depth. But personally, I didn't really want to speak too much about it because I was kind of waiting for this moment. The post-Nintendo Direct moment, because for a lot of people, since the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2, well, actually, since April 2nd when the first Direct happened, a lot of people jumped into Nintendo's new console very blindly with the expectation that Nintendo was going to be delivering more throughout the end of the year. And it was absolutely a very popular talking point online. And while this past Direct kind of proved that there wasn't anything major expected through the end of the year, pretty much what we're getting is what we learned fairly early on, there have been a lot of steps along the way that have, at minimum, raised people's eyebrows and had them question their spending habits, to the point where I actually think this Direct was not the first sign of trouble. It was actually the final nail in the coffin for a lot of these people, where they are very likely officially convinced that the Nintendo Switch 2 is not worth it for them. And over the course of this short video, I'd like to go over some of the major talking points that happened early on, and how as time has gone on, this has just made hype and sales just slip away from the Nintendo Switch 2. And let me preface this by saying that I don't expect many people that are very passionate about the Switch 2 to understand anything that I'm about to say. And I would also say to an extent Nintendo is not completely at fault for some of this, not explicitly anyway, but they are part of the major problem. And it's primarily because they do not communicate with the fan base, they're not very clear about what's coming, and through all of the great ways they've found to manipulate the algorithm and manipulate their audiences and their fandom, they're at the point now where they just let the crazies do the talking for them. So,
Okay. Not incorrect. I mean, I've seen people do that. Absolutely. It's yeah. I'll say this. For me, the whole thing, like when I lost interest in the Switch 1, is because I ended up getting a Steam Deck. Not that like a Steam Deck is a replacement for the Switch, technically, but for me it was just because the Steam Deck does a lot more of what I want versus what the Switch does, which is like I only wanted the Switch for like Pokemon and other stuff like that, and so yeah. If you want news, I will let you know about the gaming news. That's what we're covering on purpose, Beyond. That's kind of the point of this show. Anyway, let's just get to we're just gonna cover the main. Oh, damn it! I don't like the fact that he doesn't have like intros or chapters for this, and it's just gameplay the entire time.
This is going to be a while.
Yeah.
You need to find the thingamajiggies.
but it would be at least comparable. And this obviously has a lot to do, which is important because one of the earliest talking points in the Nintendo Switch 2's life was how powerful this thing was actually going to be compared to other consoles. We sit here today in September and we're like, yeah, it can almost trade blows with the Series S. What did you expect from a handheld? But that wasn't the discourse online a few months ago. Actually, we're close to like 5 months ago now. The idea for many people was that this thing would at minimum be a Series S, maybe not quite at the levels of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, but it would be at least comparable. And this obviously has a lot to do with the initial direct that we saw from Nintendo. They were very clear about focusing on 120 frames per second. They were adamant that people understood that this was a device that would go up to 4K and it was way stronger than the original Nintendo Switch. Now, technically, Nintendo didn't lie. This device does support 120 frames per second. Games like Hollow Knight have shown that. And many games do go up to 4K, but the average buyer, the person that's not really involved in a lot of the discourse online, maybe they search a few things and read what's said in a few forums, maybe they just watch the initial direct or some trailers. As far as they were concerned, this is going to be a handheld device that's going to support 4K 60 frames per second. And without a thought, with the console being available, naturally, they went and bought it fairly early on in its life. Even if there wasn't a game they were interested in just yet, they probably figured, who knows how long this thing's going to be in stock, and who knows what's going to happen with tariffs, who knows if they're going to increase the price in future years, I might as well just grab it, and then I can always just play the games that I enjoy on this Switch 2 later on when they come out. I don't think the launch lineup bothered too many people because they were just occupied by Mario Kart. That was enough to keep them busy for a bit.
I love how he says that they were occupied by Mario Kart, yet there is a story. We have IGN pulled up. Okay, hold on. I know what I'm looking for. Okay. Do Sonic.
Oh yeah, about the Sonic
Yes.
racing thing.
The Sonic Racing Cross Worlds got a 9. You know what else didn't get a 9, which was hilarious? Mario Kart. Cause yeah, so this got a 9.
I understand why.
So
I understand why.
it's not by much, but the I'll do Mario Kart. Yeah, Mario Kart got an 8, which is not. It's not bad. Like an 8 is fantastic. An 8 out of 10. Like that's a passing grade. That's 80% right there. That's absolutely fantastic. But when Sonic Racing is outdoing Mario, I am.
You know something's about
I am
to
a little
happen.
bit hesitant as to how good this was. Like, yeah, look. You can see it. 8, 9. 8. And this blew the internet's mind, by the way. That blew the internet's mind of like, holy shit, Sonic actually won something over Mario for once. Let's see.
Well, considering what they've been doing, Nintendo, I wouldn't be so surprised.
Yeah. And some of the patents that they have here. So on the Switch 2, I hear you can actually use a mouse, not the Switch mouse, like an actual mouse on your computer. I mean, if it has the software for it, again, controls and inputs are weird depending on what console you are, because like that's not unheard of. I mean, in the console space, like having keyboard and mouse support is like a normalized thing nowadays. Like for the Xbox and the PlayStation, you can do keyboard and mouse support as well. I don't know if you can do that on the thing here. We'll look that up actually. Switch. That's not how you spell that. Just rely on autocomplete for now. But switch to it's the wrong way. Keyboard and mouse. Ooh, it's really the third result. Let's see. Can't believe how well the Switch 2 works with keyboard and mouse. Oh, you can. Oh. Well. Oh, he's playing Cyberpunk on it too. That's actually kind of dope.
That looks like a keyboard.
Yeah, no. He's like this is from the Switch where you can actually use a keyboard and mouse on the Switch 2. That's kind of dope. I like that. You know.
Why are there buttons below the spacebar?
Oh, because this is like a macro keyboard. It's also that's whatever. Those ones are probably.
Game Penguin.
What?
Game Penguin.
What? Oh no.
Your mic was muted.
Yes. I think I hit my equal sign at some point. It mutes the microphone. Yeah. Yeah. No. I. It's not that I didn't believe you. It's not that I didn't believe you beyond that. That's totally like I'm not really surprised. No, it's fine. No, it's fine. But again, when you have a difference between great and amazing, when you have like Mario Kart versus Sonic Cross Worlds, it's kind of cool. It's really funny that's like a thing that happened. But yeah, people being burned out by Mario Kart's whatever thing. So the point that he made was that people were getting burned out because they thought that they would get more games later. So, I mean, I guess, but at the same time, like, if I remember that there was an interview where they said like tariffs had nothing to do with the price increase, so they increased the prices for no reason. So I don't know. It's just weird. Anyway, I think we can skip ahead just a little bit here. Probably here.
Get that same level of hype, that same level of energy that Breath of the Wild did and that Mario Odyssey did. And again, now people are like, well, of course not. It's not Mario. It's not Zelda. But prior to the launch of this game, that was very much where the talk was. So let's assume that, I don't know, half, let's say 33% of the people that bought a Switch 2 on a whim bought it because they're not really that big of Nintendo fans. Maybe they have another console or a PC and then the Nintendo Switch was going to be their handheld. They had the Switch 1, they bought all of the main big hitters, the best sellers from the Switch 1, and they just wanted to continue on with those same franchises for the Switch 2. Well, over the course of the first 2 months, they got a Mario Kart game. Okay, they played it for 2 weeks and got bored. And then Donkey Kong, they didn't really have interest in it. They wanted Mario, despite the fact that everybody was shoving Donkey Kong down their throat. So obviously at that point, now you got nothing else to buy. You start looking towards the third-party titles. First and foremost, the biggest issue with the third-party titles that people are facing with the Nintendo Switch 2 is that most of the games up till this point in time have been ports of old games. So with all of the praise, something like...
Okay. So Beyond just said that Mario Kart is always the best game. I guess it depends. Depends on what you like. For me, I'm not a big kart guy. I'm not a big kart and racing fan, personally. I liked the Mario Kart DS. That was my like my goat Mario Kart right there. Like, so, I mean, did you ever play?
Well, I played Mario Kart 8 and probably Deluxe too, but I'm pretty sure that's the only ones that I played.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's played Mario Kart at some point. Some people have like 5 different Mario Karts, and I have all the Switch 2s and stuff. Like, Mario Kart's not bad. Like, it is not a bad game. Again, like I said, 8 out of 10. Perfectly fine. Perfectly good if you like racing games, especially if you like kart games. But saying that it's always the best, like, there's some good, some bad to both of them. But I find it funny how, again, Sonic Racing, which was like the knockoff Mario Kart, just got like a higher score than Mario Kart World. So,
I mean, you can also see why Miku fans as well.
well, yeah, but like even still, it says it fires.
And don't get me wrong, I love Pokemon and such. But
it has a
just
fantastic lineup of tracks, a huge 24 character. Jesus Christ, 24 character roster. Jesus, wow.
That's not big, honestly.
For a racing game, like that's pretty solid, especially for a launch. Like 24 characters is a lot. And a generationally great soundtrack to accompany them. Oh yeah, that soundtrack is really gonna hit hard if you know what you're doing. The racing itself feels fast yet intuitive, and are plenty of modes that are entertained my friends and me for hours. Let's see what is right here. Mario Kart may not make the most convincing case in that going open world was the best series the series needed. Wow, what an opening statement. But excellent multiplayer racing, incredible polish, and thrilling new knockout tour mode still more than live up to its legacy. Again, this was made sort of at the launch of it. Feeling the original Nintendo Switch.
Ouch.
Yeah. So Beyond says that he has a feeling that the original Nintendo Switch. Don't scroll, please. The original Nintendo Switch is going to die out just like the Nintendo Wii U die since Switch came out.
Oh yeah, that's probably what
the original Nintendo Switch die out.
Nintendo guys are plan.
I think. Well, here's the thing. Console, like, that's like asking me, like, oh, what do you think of the Xbox 360s dying out? Like, it happens. I don't have any opinion on one way or the other. I never had much of an interest in the Switch in the first place. But technology moves forward. Everything happens. Everything has an end date. Everything has, like, not everything is permanent all the time. But I think that eventually the Switch 1 will die out in terms of popularity. Absolutely. I think that that's been kind of, like, a thing that's been slowly decaying over time. And with Nintendo kind of slowly deteriorating their goodwill with people, I don't think that the Switch 2 is going to be like a repeat of the Wii U, because the Wii U was a failure because people thought that it was an accessory, and it was very bad marketing that they made that way, because they didn't name it properly. Like, one of the big reasons I think why the PlayStation has been so popular is because their naming convention, like, is super easy. Like, it's PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, and like 5, 6, and all that other stuff. Whereas with Xbox, you have the Xbox Series X, the Xbox, like, 360, Xbox One X. Like, what are we doing here? Like, name your stuff appropriately. And the Switch is kind of trying to do that. I don't think, I mean...
That's going to be very confusing, though.
I mean, is it? Wait, well, like, what's going to be very confusing?
Like, Xbox this,
yeah.
Xbox that.
Well, no. If you have, like, Xbox console and you number them appropriately, like, each generation, like how Sony did, like, that's just marketing. Because once you have a good name, you have a good name.
True. But for the For the outside people looking in, it might confuse them a little bit.
Oh yeah, no,
What I'm saying
absolutely,
makes sense.
absolutely. I still think that like the reason why Xbox has been struggling to me has always been tracking it back to the Xbox One days, because the Xbox One had so many bad decisions that no one wanted to buy it. Like, I bought it because I had an Xbox 360, but that's really the only reason that I bought it. And I bought it like years after it came out, I think. But I didn't really. I like, that was my last console, and it was like, it was okay, it was fabulous, it was nice, and like, again, console gaming is for a person who wants that, but it's not my thing anymore because I've been PC pretty much for a long time now.
Years?
Yeah, a long time. I can't even remember when I sold the Xbox One, which was funny because I went into my sister's like room the other day when they were out for like a few weeks back, when they were out somewhere else, and I don't know. I saw that they had like, I think they had 360 or they had like another Xbox system in the house. I'm like, really? Whose is this? I'm kind of confused. Anyway, back to this. So
Cyberpunk gets, that was like a, what, 4 or 5 year old game by the time it hit the Switch 2 at launch. But even
Hey,
if
nice.
you wanted to use Cyberpunk as a test, as something that would get people to buy into the Nintendo Switch 2, when you do a lot of those benchmark tests, and I know Digital Foundry did a few of those tests on it, they concluded that Cyberpunk was sitting somewhere in between the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro. Now, again, Nintendo didn't promise that this thing would be as strong as a PS5, but a lot of people bought into this device expecting stronger than PS4. Close to Series S. Whether you'd like to blame the buyer or not, that's debatable, but that's not going to change the fact that they're disappointed with their purchase because it's not as strong as they expected. So they might...
Which is fair, right?
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's like I don't know if people remember this, but that's what one of the weird things that happened with PlayStation was that, like, oh, we have support for 8K, and just like they didn't, and then they subtly removed it from the box. And it's like, oh, okay, so you just straight up fucking lied then. What about Cyberpunk? I mean, Cyberpunk, the game, I've played it. It's fine. I did like it. It was good. Didn't hold my interest as much as I thought it would. It held my interest for a while until I went to, like, I hit one particular area and then was just like, and we're done. It's not, again, it's a single player game. It's fine. I would like to try to get for multiple endings. I'm fairly certain that it has a bunch of stuff to do. But again, once I usually complete a single player game, I usually don't go back and play it often.
Yeah.
No, it didn't. The Nintendo Switch 2 said that it was between a PS4 and a PS5. It didn't say that it was catching up. It said that it was like the last gen stuff, but people were expecting higher gen stuff rather than anything, is what that was explaining. Apparently, beyond a little behind here. So
I'd be like, why would I spend my money? Why would I waste my money on Cyberpunk for the Switch 2? I'm probably going to end up playing it not handheld anyway because it's such a beefy game and it'll drain my battery. And it's available for cheaper on the PC and on my Xbox. And that same discussion can be had for games like Yakuza, for Street Fighter. Even if they run well, it doesn't mean that they're now the optimal way to play the game for a lot of these folks.
also game key cards, so you're not technically owning the game. Like, I know,
True.
if you buy it digitally, you're still not technically owning the game. You're buying a license. Like, we can go back and forth about that all day. But the game key card thing, yikes, that got really big. Okay, I think we're gonna skip ahead. Let's skip ahead to here.
The reality is a lot of people will be like, cool, I'm glad it runs well. Where are the sports games? And before I get to the sports games, it's the same idea with Star Wars Outlaws. Star Wars Outlaws is the game that was the most effort was put into it over any other game on the Nintendo Switch 2 as far as ports go, in my opinion. And Ubisoft did a very good job making sure this game runs as well as it does on the Nintendo Switch 2. But again, you still fall back to that same issue. A lot of people that initially bought into the Nintendo Switch 2 already have either a PS5 or an Xbox or a PC, something that could run this game better. And they either bought this game already or they were not interested in this game because it was a flop. So no matter how well Star Wars Outlaws does, at the end of the day, this game has been crapped on. It's been dragged through the mud over the course of the past year. And now all of a sudden you're supposed to be like, yeah, this game runs great on the Switch 2. Everybody's got to go and buy it. And once again, that's not exactly how this works. And you know what?
Okay. I guess that does make sense. People getting upset about performance, blah, blah, blah. I really wish these sections.
But there's always a silver lining, right? There's an announcement for a Splatoon game, but it's an expansion. It's not like that multiplayer experience that you would expect from Splatoon. Hyrule Warriors, if that's your thing, then you could be excited about that. Kirby Air Riders, I mean, it's very niche. And for a lot of people, it's just another kart racer. Not for me, mind you. I think Kirby Air Riders is easily going to be a phenomenal title, but that average person is not going to look at it the same way they would look at something massive, something that would excite them for this console, something that they have to go out and buy. But all of these titles that are announced through the end of the year, they all have like some kind of an asterisk. It's like, okay, it's big, but is it like that thing, that excitement that I'm looking for? Again, that Mario Odyssey sequel, that Breath of the Wild sequel, Smash Bros, even arguably a new Mario Party. Mario Party sells very well, and that's the reason why the Switch 2 edition is doing as well as it does, despite being the worst of the Switch 2 editions. But the problem is, through all of this discussion and all of this time people are waiting for the next big announcement, they're just frequently told that there's this upcoming Nintendo Direct that's going to be dangled in front of your face. And that's what Nintendo is going to just pull out all of the stops, and they're going to surprise everybody, and you're going to understand why you bought this thing. It's going to have all of the exciting games announced upcoming, and your hype will never be higher. And I think it's very telling that...
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of farm games and such.
Yeah. No. I hate the people who always be like, oh, no. There's a secret director. There's a secret thing that's coming up to always, like, fucking do the best stuff that they're holding out on us. Like, where? That's always been my question. Where is it? Where, like, I think it was last couple years, it was always the PlayStation people being like, no. This PlayStation State of Play sucked, but the next one that's going to be secret in like 2 weeks, that one's going to have the good stuff on it. And I'm like, what? Why would you not put the good stuff in front of us now rather than like 3 weeks from now? Right?
Exactly.
Like,
exactly. I don't know why they're doing that.
It's simple marketing. It's just simple, pure marketing of how do you get the most people to be excited about your game. Like, I see all the time indie developers on my like Twitter timeline just absolutely gushing about their game, being like, here's some of the progress that we've made, here's some of the other stuff. Like, Mouse PI came across my feed one time, and I'm like, dude, this game looks fucking sick. And I remember I watched that game going from the box to, or like the gray box state, all the way to the finished product that launched. And I'm like, dude, this game's sick. By the way, video games are full of surprises, but Mouse PI is, I'll just look it up because I think it's out now. Mouse PI. Oh. Mouse PI for hire. Yeah. This is the game. It is a I believe it's supposed to be the 1980s. I'll just pull up it on Steam. Yeah. It's a 1980s. Oh no, 1930s. My mistake.
Oh, 1930s I think I've
style.
seen a trailer of this one.
Yeah.
It's like that cartoon shooter thing.
Yes, and it's what I'm calling like the Doom, like the classic Doom shooter type stuff. But look at this amazing animation and gameplay. Look at that. That looks so good, dude. I love it. And it is
That's
releasing
so cool.
come 2025. I remember watching this. It's such a good one. Well, I'm excited for this because again, this is my jam. And just look at the animation and just the sheer love and attention that this has. Because all these are like, I think 2D, like hand-drawn sprites, and it's the same style as if you've ever seen. Yeah, if you've ever seen Cuphead, it kind of runs like that. It kind of looks like that in a lot of ways. Only this one's in more black and white, so it's got the good style where it's like, it's so good. It's so good. There's a lot of good stuff from those guys. I love it. Personally, my personal favorite. But yeah, overall, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah. Anyway.
That the most exciting thing to come out from that Direct is Super Mario Galaxy 2. Now,
yeah.
I love Super Mario Galaxy 2, but as it stands, it seems like the top Switch 2 exclusives for the first year of the Nintendo Switch 2's life are another Mario Kart that's kind of underwhelming, a Donkey Kong Bonanza that just doesn't have the same appeal as it would if that character was Mario. If I had to wager, those are going to be the best-selling titles of...
Nah, that is right. Beyond is right. So back in the day, TV used to be in black and white before color. Yeah, I believe that that's because transferring color was harder to do and was more expensive. That's why it was a big selling point, I think, in the late 40s to maybe even early 50s about having your show in Technicolor. That was a huge thing back in the day. I think even in the late 30s it started. I'm not sure when specifically TV became color. But it went from radio to TV to TV with color. Now we have phones in our pockets that are basically as strong, if not stronger, than the earliest TVs from back then, which is just funny. Anyway.
Of the first year of the Nintendo Switch 2's life, and will very likely be in the top 5 of the best-selling games on the Nintendo Switch 2. Actually, Donkey Kong will realistically...
Also, speaking of that Direct, you know what else was announced at that Direct?
Silk Song?
Well, I don't know if it was, but the Virtual Boy console thing, the thing that we looked at, like, I think last week.
Oh.
And it's literally just a plastic housing that you slip the Nintendo Switch into, and that's it. And it looks like the Virtual Boy, which, by the way, I did some interesting research, and that console only sold 700,000 units and had about 15 games in total in its entire lifetime. 700,000 units, when their next worst selling console for Nintendo, I think, in terms of what stuff they looked up at, was the Wii U at 13 million. In terms of, like, that's how much of a discretion this is. So who the fuck was asking for a plastic housing that you have to pay, like, how much do you have to pay for it? I remember we talked about this, but it was, yeah. Was it this one? Virtual Boy for Nintendo Switch 2. Ah, yes. $100.
$100.
For a literal piece of plastic. That's literally what this is. It's literally what that is. Oh, but don't worry. If you want the cardboard model, you just have to pay $25.
Nice.
Wonderful. Oh, okay. Playing games since 1995 or 1982. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. I mean, that's, yeah. It kind of tracks, but playing since 1995. What games came out in 1995? I think like the original one. 1995. So you were definitely in the 1995 in video games. Nice. Yeah, there was the Sega Saturn was releasing. Game Boy was there. I think this was also in. This was probably smack dab in the midst of. I think the Nintendo. Oh, it was discontinued in America that year. No, fuck.
Dang it.
Oh, but but Sony released the PlayStation console in the United States. Oh, nice. That's actually kind of cool. I did not remember that, but that's cool. Interesting. Anyway, back to this. I don't think we need to look at any more of this because I think we get the general idea. People are burnt out of Nintendo because of the lack of games for it and the lack of like anything that makes me want to buy the console, which is fair. Like people buying the game and the console and stuff just kind of are like, oh, after the rose tinted glasses are finally removed, they just are like, oh, this doesn't have as many games as I would want it to have. Like, yeah, that was for me with a bit of my, even I'll admit, like the have a little bit of a regret buying early into the Steam Deck even though it's like a really good console, or like not a really good console, but a really good PC for what it's packing. I mainly just used it in my college days in my dorm room. It did lighten my backpack a heck of a lot, so it slipped into my like life very easily back then. But now that I'm like out of college and looking for work, it's like it's fine. He was born in the 90s. I was not. I was born at the end of the 90s. So that's all that I'm gonna say there. I am legally
Today, folks,
of
we're gonna be talking.
age, so I will say that much at least. But I'm not going to reveal what year I was born because it's personal information. Anyway, let's take a look
Yeah,
at the response.
same,
Yeah, let's take a look at the response, and we're moving on from there.
If you've been paying attention over the last few days, at least on YouTube, there's been a particular video that has gone viral talking about how the Switch 2... here's just the video right here. The Nintendo Switch 2's buyer's remorse is very real. My title is a play off of that title because I actually don't think it's as real as he makes it out to be. Now, obviously, we are a Nintendo channel that really enjoys Switch 2. I got mine right here. And yeah, obviously, we don't agree with that opinion around these parts. But I also don't think the arguments made in the video make any logical sense and only really apply if you are essentially making an argument for why you shouldn't buy a Nintendo Switch 2. And I want to note that these arguments are coming from a content creator who doesn't own a Switch 2, ergo isn't experiencing buyer's remorse, and therefore probably wouldn't fundamentally understand how or why you could experience buyer's remorse since they have chosen not to buy the platform at this time. So,
I mean, I guess, but you can still make an argument and be like, here are the reasons why I don't like it. If he's presenting it as like, interesting point. But you can criticize anything really if you really think about it. Like, nothing technically is above critique. So in saying that, like, oh, this right here, this is bad because of X, Y, and Z or something. Oh, cool. But I don't know. I guess. Thinking of buying a Switch 2, but I don't know about it. I mean, again, I'm not going to say don't because it's your money. You earned it. You do whatever you want with it. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. But I'll say that I don't see any reason to buy a Switch 2 over, say, something else. Like, there's a lot of games out there. There are certainly a lot of gaming platforms out there. Again, for me personally, the only reason why I even wanted the Switch in the first place when I was looking into it was to have that portable experience because I was in college at the time and I needed a non-permanent way to go back and forth between college. And I didn't like taking my laptop because my laptop is very big and bulky. And despite the fact that I can carry it and it's fine and it's all good and whatnot, like, the Switch, the Steam Deck just seemed better in a lot of ways. It seemed more of like the Switch experience that I wanted. But that's just for me, and I cannot speak for anyone other than myself in that context. But if you want to buy it, go ahead. I'm just going to say, like, you do realize that you have to still pay for online, and you still have to pay for, like, a bunch of games that will most likely never go on sale, even though it's been years and years at this point. Like, to use a weird example, they are now re-releasing Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 for, like, $40. Which, like, that's fine, I guess, but there's no, well, maybe it's actually $40 each. I don't know the pricing of it, but it just, to me, it just seems like when you're in the console space, you're just paying more and more and more and more. Because when you're on PC, I just have to buy the games, buy the PC, and then pay for my own internet, which is fine, and that's only like a few different payments there, and that's all good, 2 of which are like one time. But then you add on for the console space, you add on a couple of the other stuff, like you have to continuously buy into their online services and stuff. I just say weigh your options and do what best fits you. I'm not going to dissuade you from buying it. Just know that you're paying for more than just the console at this point. But to get back onto this, a person can have buyer's remorse, and a person can look at, say, the market in general and talk about buyer's remorse in terms of someone from the outside looking in. There's a way to do that. Welcome back. I'm just explaining the whole point of buyer's remorse and how, like, someone can analyze it. Like, you can analyze it 100%. There's nothing above analyzation and critique. But I don't know. That is true that the other guy doesn't apparently have the Switch, so talking about it does weaken his argument a little bit, which is strange. So, anyway, we're only like a minute in, and I already have something to say about this. Let's keep going.
Oh, I think it's really interesting because the perspective of buyer's remorse should probably come from someone who's bought the system and actually is experiencing it. Now, I want to note that I'm not claiming that there's nobody out there that has buyer's remorse. The iPhone 17 just released yesterday, and there's probably people that have it right now that regret buying it and aren't experiencing the uplift and upgrade they thought they would feel coming off of the 16. So, yeah, buyer's remorse is a thing. There are people that legitimately feel it. But the way the video presents it is as if there is a significant, if not a majority, maybe not majority, it's a bit strong, but a large swath of Switch 2 owners that regret making the purchase. Now, it's interesting as well because this content creator has also in the past suggested that a majority of Switch 2 purchases were actually scalpers. So I guess their buyer's remorse would probably just be they've been failing to resell the system on eBay. So I guess that could be your buyer's remorse. But there are obviously some people who do experience buyer's remorse. They bought it based on hype. They bought it based on hopium. And now, as of today, they maybe regret making that purchase. That's what buyer's remorse is. You buy something and then you regret actually purchasing it. But I don't think that's the way a majority of Nintendo Switch 2 owners feel. And I think that there's a lot of arguments that are brought up in this video that just don't hold any weight when you actually think about what he's saying and what actually was going on online at the time.
I'll say this. Considering that a lot of Nintendo fans, or like Nintendo like extreme fans, came out of the woodwork to celebrate Nintendo, I guess, getting a patent for, I think it was a monster summoning or something. They got a patent for something.
Summoning a character from something else.
Yes, and a couple other things about like.
Very stupid.
It's so dumb.
Mind you,
It's been a thing.
so many games do that, and they're just destroying a lot of these games that that have this kind of mechanism in there.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I'll
like
say
Terraria,
here.
for example, that the game has like an entire summoner class.
Yeah.
And what about Persona? Even though it has a very controversial fan base, Persona also has the same thing.
Yes.
And let's not forget all the other things that have that.
Yes, yeah. I'm totally with you on that. I think that that in my mind, game mechanics should be treated the same as recipes. You know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about that?
I think I've heard that saying before.
Well, I'll just explain it. The reason why I say that is because recipes themselves are directions. They cannot be copywritten, right? So
yeah, I've heard this saying before, Game Penguin.
Yeah, so the directions can't be copywritten, but like the images and stuff can. I think that's how game mechanics should be. They're the recipe for it. That's just the output of a recipe. Like, you can copyright code that you've written. Certainly. Code is like stuff that you make. Like, if you make like a new code or a new line and you like name that code and say like, hey, I want to patent this, like that's fine. But I don't think
that's a different thing.
Patenting the result of the code or patenting the thing of that or the processes for that code is the thing, because it just to me just anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Annoying.
That being said, folks, before we dive in, I want to remind you of a few things. First off, this video is sponsored by D-Brand. This is available to the series.
No
sponsors
we don't
here.
care about the sponsors.
Anyway.
One actually saying it would be as powerful as a Series S, especially at minimum. We did note that there was more RAM in this bad boy and that it had a different architecture, and DLSS would probably be better than the upscaling technology available to the Series S. But we also knew the Series S had obviously the ability to be plugged into the wall, probably had a much better CPU, and even the GPU, just by nature of it having more power and the RAM probably being higher clocked, that yeah, it probably wasn't as powerful as the Series S, but that it could maybe in some aspects, thanks to DLSS, trade blows. And what have we discovered since launch? Well, Digital Foundry has gone on to confirm that there are several instances where some games on this system have moments where it trades blow with Series S, which is literally what was being talked about before the system was even revealed, before we had that really big direct. So it's fascinating that he's now framing that conversation as what we were really talking about was that at minimum, this would be as powerful as the Series S and be pretty close to, although not quite as powerful as a PlayStation 5. Maybe those conversations existed somewhere. I don't recall that being a big talking point. The bigger talking point was just that, like, hey, there'll be aspects of this that will show that it could do certain things better than a Series S, but wouldn't overall be as powerful as one, but would be more powerful than a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 4 Pro. And really, people were settling that docked mode wise, it would be between a Pro and a Series S, which is
not the case, as he explained.
Yeah.
What does this say here? Thinking okay, so of course, Switch got power. Yeah, and it's an upgrade to Switch 2. Yeah, it is. I will say this: at the very least, the Switch 2 is like an upgrade to the Switch, and that's fine. And like that's all good and well and whatever, but people comparing it to the ad minimum training blows with it, I feel like he's just reframing what people were talking about, right? I don't know. It feels that way because they're saying kind of the same thing. In the previous video, we said like, oh, people were making the comparison that this will be as powerful as a Series S, meaning that it should at least have some aspects to the Series S. But I don't know if that was the main line of conversation. Now that I'm thinking on it, but it just, I don't know. They said like, oh, it would be like 20 to 30% more powerful. I mean, that it should like be better than, or at least somewhat comparable to modern hardware. It's just, I don't know. It should be at least better than the 13-year-old Switch, I think. Like the whatever technology that was in there. Like no one expected it to be like pumping out that. It's just, I don't know. It just feels disingenuous, and I can't really put my finger on the why. You know?
True.
So
exactly what we've seen from Digital Foundry comparisons. Obviously, for docked mode. In handheld, things we always knew were going to be less, right? That's just the way it goes. There's two different power profiles. Now, I find that interesting that this is a huge premise because throughout the entirety of the video, he spends the whole time just talking about how this thing isn't as powerful as people expected it to be. And he says that's basically the crux of the buyer's remorse. Now, there's another crux he throws into it about the game library, and we will talk about that because he does make one point I do agree with. But I find this to be interesting that it is the main crux for buyer's remorse is that, hey, people bought Switch 2 and they're just disappointed with the power of the system. I haven't actually seen that be a popular sentiment online, but feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on that. Next up, he thought, that the average consumer thinks that this is a 4K 60 FPS device. Now, what is an average consumer? He doesn't really define it much other than somebody who has maybe seen a trailer here or there, or maybe saw the Direct. I'm going to tell you right now, the average consumer does not watch Nintendo Directs.
agree to disagree. I'd say agree to disagree. Saying the average consumer doesn't watch Nintendo Directs. It depends. Like,
the consumer got bored and watched them things. And they stumble upon that.
I mean, even besides that, it's more of just Nintendo is one of the entry points into gaming, in my opinion, and I think most people's opinion. where it's like everyone's had an Xbox, not an Xbox. Everyone's had a Nintendo DS for like that I can remember from my generation, or like,
I
everyone
had a
had.
2DS.
Oh, you had the brick, you had the slate brick.
Yeah.
Nice. I had that too, actually. I actually ended up losing mine on a cross country trip when we went. I think from Nevada to somewhere else. I think I either left it in the hotel room somewhere or something. I don't know. But it's lost. It's been lost. My 2DS got lost, and I'm still a little bit miffed about it. But I had a 3DS as well. I had a Nintendo DS Lite, Nintendo DS 2DS, and a Nintendo 3DS. It's all really funny, all really good stuff.
But then they discontinued everything.
Yeah.
I don't really use it anymore.
Yeah.
Sad.
Oh, someone had a Game Boy Advanced. Beyond had a Game Boy Advanced. Hell yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah. I to use like a more modern thing now, I have my knockoff Game Boy SP, which is just like a Linux emulator with a bunch of games on it. Like a bunch of games on it. Talking like a lot of them. Some of them are even Crazy Taxi and a couple of GTA games. So, some good stuff on it. Some good stuff. Anyway.
Rex are for your hardcore faithful. That is not the average consumer base. That is your hardcore fans. The average consumer is basically someone who sees it on a store shelf and goes, oh, that's a Switch 2. That's a new system. The average consumer doesn't pay attention that closely to anything Nintendo. In fact, the average consumer might be more aware of the discourse around the system than anything Nintendo's actually said about it. And I just say that from going to launch and having some more casual consumers in the line buying a Switch 2 that were talking to me about, hey, aren't all the games going to be $90? And it's like, where do they hear that? Because they didn't hear it from Nintendo. Yeah, they heard it from content creators online. They're actually consuming more of this kind of content that we make and other people make than they are Nintendo stuff. The average consumer just isn't paying that close of attention. So,
what?
Huh?
I mean, I guess. I mean, sure. But people are still aware that they're paying like the amount of money that they are paying for. I don't.
What?
Yeah, because I would think that those those people that are saying like that are slightly less, and I don't know, that seems again like it's backwards to me.
And plus, some video game companies get on the news for various things.
Yeah. I really shouldn't. Didn't this get on the news for like Nintendo doing it? Like I would say that people are going to like gaming journalists like IGN or Game Informer, where Game Informer, that kind of dates me a little bit. But for like IGN and other places that are like that are reporting this stuff, like saying that those are. I always find it weird how people assume the average consumer doesn't know anything. Because that's not true. Like, the average consumer does know things. They should know things if they're trying to purchase stuff.
Yeah.
Just overall. And that's just dumb. I don't know what else to say. That just kind of is weird.
Yeah, very weird.
You can skip ahead a little bit. Again, no chapters, no nothing, just gameplay and trailers. This is the one thing that I hate about the commentary niche sometimes, that some people just don't put in effort to like, put chapters and stuff in.
And it makes it a headache to find what you want.
Yeah, at least for me, I have the screenshots that I put up there to be like, hey, here's what I'm talking about, or here's what I read out. So people can at least get some context there, but there's just like nothing. It just feels like propaganda, for whatever reason.
So no, I don't think any average consumer walked into buying a Switch 2 expecting 4K 60 FPS. even knowing the device does 4K 60 FPS would have to be a consumer that's actually paying active attention. To know the system does 120 FPS, again, you have to be a consumer that actually pays attention. And I would argue the average...
But it's in the trailer for the... What? It's in the marketing. Is it not?
Yeah.
Like you're saying that the average consumer, like, they should know because what? I would again think that that's the opposite. Where, like, if it's printed on the actual marketing material of, like, 4K 60 and stuff like that, like, that should be the standard. Or that should at least be expected to happen to a lot of their games. Which, that's more of the average consumer mindset, where they see it on the shelf and they see it, like, next to some of the stuff. And an average consumer, at least to me, would probably, like, read the back of the box and be like, oh, they have, like, 4K 60 and all this other stuff that's, like, all these benefits. And it's like, that's what I think of the average consumer. They would read the box. They would, like, look at just the trailer and nothing else. No one else's really opinion there. Am I just, like...
They should at least know what's going on and such. Like,
yeah, I don't think we're in the era of, like, grandma going over to buy, oh, I thought you wanted the new play Nintendo DS thing. It's like, that's not what I wanted, grandma. It's like, I think we're past that at this point. Like, is it just me?
Way past that.
Yeah.
I mean, the 3DS has been completely discontinued.
Well, no. I mean, just in general, like, people not understanding gaming. I think we're past that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm... that's what I'm more talking about. People, like, the average consumer not understanding what video games are or what they are, and everything's not a Nintendo, you know? Like, that's what... I think we're past that at this point. So people are more well-informed now because of places like the internet and the directs and, like, the state of play and stuff. Because if you get into this hobby, even with my passing interest of not knowing much of anything, I still get fairly regular news about, like, what I do. Like, that's what I do. I do research on, like, places like X and stuff. And I'm using, like, actual official sources. Like, I do this not as a job, but as more of a hobby. But my feed is, like, just all sorts of... Let's not look at that. My feed is, like, all sorts of random stuff with people talking about this stuff. And I use these sources to make points. I don't know, like, it's a job. It's how you operate. But, like, the average consumer is far more informed than you might think it is. This is coming from someone who's done this. Not done this, but, like, looked into marketing and has a degree in it. I know that it's like, oh, you have a degree? It's like, yes. So, anyway. But yeah, the average consumer is smarter than you think they are.
The average consumer isn't paying that close attention. The average consumer doesn't even always know what resolution their damn Xbox Series X is running at. It's really fascinating to me talking about average consumers while not being one, because I'm surrounded by them in my family. And let me tell you, I had to answer a bunch of questions about Switch 2 because they had no idea what the thing even was. In fact, they didn't even know a new Nintendo was coming until I told them. Average consumers are not paying that close attention to the details. So no, the expectation of 4K 60 FPS ain't coming from your average consumer. It's coming from either people who are paying attention to what Nintendo said, or it's just people being negative about Nintendo and wanting to laugh at them for advertising 4K 60 FPS when obviously it's not going to be able to do that in a majority of cases. Confusing people laughing at Nintendo about it to be average consumers is not a smart way to go about this. It would have been better, I think, his video when he was making these points, if he would have actually shown proof that real Switch 2 consumers were saying this stuff. But of course he didn't. It's just, hey, believe me because I said so, right?
Pot, kettle. I think you're a little bit black there, dude. Right? It's the same thing. Like it's the same thing. Like, he's saying, like, oh yeah, like all this stuff. It's like, he's like, oh, I don't have to prove my point. I'm defending it. It's like, at least provide evidence to the contrary. Like, if you're gonna do and say like, oh, there's no one that has buyer's remorse for this, at least show tweets of people happily enjoying their stuff. Show some TikToks. Don't just show me like the Nintendo Direct trailers and like all that other stuff. I know that it's like a formula and whatever, and these videos come out like whatever, but I show evidence of people talking about this shit. I'm showing your video on stream to people. So I'm explaining the points. Where is your evidence, sir? Like, if you're going to ask for evidence from someone, provide your own. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I know this is not a court of law or anything, but, like, if you're going to call someone else out for not providing evidence, but you provide no evidence to the contrary, I am, regardless of whatever it is, I'm going to be like, I don't believe either of you in this context until one of you provides me evidence.
If you're making a research thingy about a subject, you should provide evidence of the research thingy that you're making.
Well, obviously it's not at least not a research thing. It's just more of an opinionated piece, which is fine. Like, you can have an opinion.
You know what I mean. You need to have evidence.
Yeah, no, I agree. Having evidence, at least to even just mildly support your point, will strengthen your argument regardless. So, like, that goes both ways. That goes for both of these guys. Like, I agree with some of the points of, like, yeah, someone could definitely be, like, burnt out because they were illegitimately sold on the Switch's hardware. Like, I agree, absolutely. But I also agree with the fact that there are people that don't feel that way. So I'm not picking sides here. Just because I'm making fun of both these videos doesn't mean that I agree with one way or the other. Like, he's making good points here as well. Like, not everyone feels that way. It's not everyone was sold that way. But the average consumer thing is, like, the average consumer is a little bit smarter than you think they are. That's the only point that I really did mildly disagree with.
Next up, he claims that DK Bonanza before launch was being talked about on the same hype levels as a Mario game. And I got a note here that a lot of us that were hyping up DK Bonanza always noted it's not 3D Mario. Like, this is not going to get the attention that a 3D Mario game did. We were saying the quality of the game is at the level of a 3D Mario. But talking about the quality of the game and our expectations of it and our personal excitement for the game for the first 3D Donkey Kong in 26 years is not the same as saying that this has the same hype level as an actual Mario game. At no point do I recall anyone actually hyping this up to have the same level of excitement for a general audience as Donkey Kong. Some of us were as hyped and actually like Donkey Kong more than we enjoyed Super Mario Odyssey. That is actually a real opinion out there. But just because we're hyped about it and excited about it and enjoy it, none of us were acting like this gets the same sort of attention as a Mario game. That doesn't even make sense. I don't know any logical Nintendo fan or anyone playing Switch 2 that expected this to have the same hype level as Mario. And the funny thing is, no Mario game has been announced, like in terms of a brand new 3D or side-scrolling one for Nintendo Switch 2. So I don't know what this point really is.
Isn't that bad, though? Like, there's no new mainline Mario game for the Switch 2 right now. Is that bad? I feel like that's bad.
No, not really.
So Beyond's here is
I don't really care.
Yeah, he's saying, so you guys talk about video games because I'd love to chat about it and talking about the news and stuff. Yeah, no, I talk about video games all the time. That's my channel is based upon that. This stream is kind of based on that. I am planning to play video games later, because I want to do something other than just chat. But yeah, I feel like that's bad though. Like, whether or not you're saying that the quality of the game, are you not hyped if you're saying that the quality of this DK Bonanza is on par with Mario? Is that not saying that you're, like, hyped for this game because it looks like Mario quality? Is that not how that works? I thought that that's how it works. Hello?
Sorry, I was distracted.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking, like, because I've compared some games to other games, like Arena Breakout Infinite is like Tarkov, but having more of a free to play element and having better things that I kind of like about it a little bit more. Like, and that's a comparison, and I have one over the other because one is comparable. Like, comparing games is not. It sets expectations. No.
It puts expectations on things.
Yeah. It puts a person's expectations into what they expect the quality of the game to be, and how hyped they are for it. So that means that you're hyped for the quality of the game. I don't get this point. I really don't. It's so weird.
Me neither.
Because we're talking about buyer's remorse, and people that bought Donkey Kong seem to be pretty satisfied with Donkey Kong, hence the really high user scores combined with the really high reviews. So I don't really know how that creates any buyer's remorse by having just a really damn good video game come out because it's not Mario.
What? Reviews and having a game that you think is a good game come out is not.
What?
Yeah. You'll be hyped about it. Yeah, absolutely. Like, that's not what he's saying. I think what he's attempting to say here is that the game was reviewed well. A lot of people like it, and I like it. Therefore, it's a good game. I mean, in some regards, yes. In other regards, no. I would say, here's the thing. Review scores are more of a dot on a line graph. Like, in a general, like, not even like a good one, but like an array, more specifically, where it's like you have a bunch of different points on a graph, and then they have a general incline or decline or whatever. But you can have people reviewing games that are just, like, I don't know. Let me think. Like, there's plenty of examples of very badly reviewed games that people loved, and then there's very good examples of, or very other examples of games where people hated the actual experience, like the general populace, but they reviewed great. It reviewed fantastically. Like, I think a good example would be The Last of Us Part 2. Because that game, I think, reviewed really well. Let me see. Last of Us Part 2. What was I doing? Scores. Yeah. On Metacritic, let's see here. Yeah. Like, the universal Metacritic score for this has been, like a 93. Like, oh yeah, Metacritic must play. But the mixed and average score is 5.8.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I've seen a lot of things like that.
Yeah. So critics, that's the dog. But critics themselves don't dictate how people receive the game. Like, what's a badly reviewed game I can think of? I can't. Oops. There's a few bad reviewed games. Okay, hold on. Bad reviewed. That's not how you spell that. Games that people loved. Yeah. From across the web, some of these bad reviewed games that people loved. Assassin's Creed Unity was garbage. I don't care what you say. But Days Gone, people kind of did like that. This video game's notable for negative reception. Let's see this.
I don't know many games that have that kind of thing. I don't really care about the reviews that much.
Yeah, I'm looking for ones that people liked. Yeah. So, Order 1886, Final Fantasy, That Nier, it's probably a good one. 20 terrible video games that got amazing reviews. Other review games that are actually great. Here we go. We'll do this one. This is just one a point, so it's not for everything. But it really depends on the gameplay and the storytelling. I mean, more gameplay than storytelling. But the game's the same. Like The Last of Us is yeah. Again, I know what you meant. But saying that The Last of Us 2 has a good story, like, okay. I mean, you know what else has a good story? Psycho, the movie. Or, in my opinion, another good story is, like, the Pokemon movie. Like, those are really good. Oh, another good story is Hatchet, the book. Very good story. Like, a lot of those stories are good, and if I had wanted a good story, I'd probably read a book more. But, like, playing through it, I guess. But it's, like, it doesn't really... Like, it doesn't work for me. Like, that's just me. Anyway, badly reviewed games that we have here. So we have Knack, which this was the launch title for the PS4, which, yeah, in some cases, yeah. Deadly Premonition. This one was like a cult classic. Everyone didn't really like this. It was kind of niche for its time, and it was a little bit weird, but a lot of people are like, this is kind of cool. Oh, yeah, Ukulele. You remember hearing about this?
Oh, that lizard thing?
Yeah, it was meant to be like a Banjo-Kazooie, a follow-up kind of, where people didn't really like it. It was made by Team 17, and people were like, oh, it's kind of mid in terms of the reviews, and not a lot of people bought it. Never heard of this one, Pathologic 2. Oh, yeah, Rain World's on here, too, apparently. People have definitely heard of Rain World.
Rain World?
Yeah, where it...
I love Rain World.
Yeah.
I just started playing that, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Why would people hate that?
Yeah, it pushes the envelope in terms of difficulty and challenging the player. Huge fan base, and one of the most unique and interesting Metroidvania games in the market. It was widely critically panned. But the only reason it seems to be that the game has the audacity to be quite hard. Where have we seen this before? A number of times.
Hollow Knight.
A lot of not just Hollow Knight Silksong, but also like Elden Ring. People are like, oh, it's too difficult. Like, get good, get good, idiot. Oh yeah. Order 1886. This one was literally just a tech demo. Really can kind of skip that over. Days Gone. This one I was actually excited for. Like, it looked fine. It looked cool. It looked interesting. But, like, people were like, oh, it looks mid. And I'm just like, yeah, I can see it. I wasn't that interested, but I just thought that it looked cool. So, yeah. Atomic Heart. This one, I'm still a little mad about this one. This one's good. I need to get back into playing it again. It's like a BioShock.
Amazing.
It's a BioShock spiritual successor. If you like BioShock, you will like this game. It's also very Russian,
Nice.
despite the fact that I think most people speak American in this. It's very cool. I like it. It's neat. No, Forspoken deserved the hate that it got, in my personal opinion. It led to the destruction of a studio, just because it was really bad. Praise, I agree with that. I think, I don't know if I've played Prey, but this one, like, a lot of good stuff was done with it, and it was just really neat. And that's that list. So yeah, but there's a lot of good games that were bad and were badly reviewed that a lot of people do like. So reviews don't make a game. Is my point there. So
I guess is the idea of it being buyer's remorse, but Mario wasn't promised yet. So okay. Moving on, he does this big thing where he tries to basically dismiss all third-party games, either for being old ports coming back, sure, fair criticism, or because they don't perform as well as more powerful systems do, even using Digital Foundry for this argument, even though Digital Foundry has said many times, for the level of hardware this is, a lot of these third-party games are running very, very well, and they've even been impressed, especially with Star Wars Outlaws. They were very impressed. Now, the big thing about noting this is he assumes that a majority of people that bought this own an Xbox gaming PC or PlayStation. So his assumption is for some reason, the early adopters of this platform are multi-platform gamers that literally will not buy multi-platform games on Switch 2 because they're always going to be running better on competing systems. Now, I'm a multi-platform gamer. I own Star Wars Outlaws on Xbox, and I also own it on the Nintendo Switch 2. And you might go, well, Nate, why would you do that? And, well, it's pretty simple. I can't play my Xbox anywhere. It does stream to my phone, but it's very inconsistent when I'm not at home on my Wi-Fi. I would call it an unenjoyable experience when I'm not playing it at home. So,
okay. I think I get it. But at the same time, what he's saying, as far as I can tell here, is that people aren't buying this as their main system, I guess. Like, do people buy the Switch 2 as a main to their system? I don't think that that's a good idea.
I never really heard of that.
Yeah,
No, I don't think so.
I guess there might be some people that do. That's fine, like if you do. But it's more of just, there are so many other ones that you can get for pretty decent amounts of price in terms of if you just want that. It's like if you just want Nintendo games, I guess, if you want to buy it officially, but it's like, eh. But most people that I know of, that again, we're going to use his logic here where he says like, oh, the people that would know about the Nintendo Switch 2's like power being not as good have other systems. Like, yeah, a lot of people don't buy the Switch 2 or the Switch as their mainline system for the most part. Like, a lot of people have computers. A lot of people have other means of playing video games. Not everyone's going to buy the same games that you are, or like the same games like 3 times on different systems. Like, that's more of you speaking from someone who is not an elitist, but someone who is deep in the thing of gaming. You know what I mean? It's weird. And again, I feel like it's kind of correct, but at the same time, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that we've looked at enough videos and stuff for today. Weird video. People can have buyer's remorse, I guess, but in any case, let us. So we are going to go through now, and we are going to play one of my new favorite games. That being, where is it? Where are you? Sulfur. I'm gonna try to beat the first layer. Yeah, I'm gonna try to beat the first layer today. That's my goal. It'll load.
If it loads.
Yeah. It should be. There we go. Is it? Oh.
Well.
Okay, there we go. Fixed the PNG a little bit. Okay. All right. Hopefully this all functions. Can you see everything?
Yeah, I can see everything.
Excellent. NVIDIA Games, can I tell you this video? Sure, I guess. Jane. I can do it after a run or two. So, oh, I just hit. that goes to show you how much hardcore I've been playing. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I've done a few runs since anything else, and like take a look at some of these guns, by the way, that I have here. So I got this one, which is like a single shotgun. I have this one, which is kind of cool. I can't actually reload it because I need to exude the clip before anything. Then there's this one, which is just super weird. Look at that.
What is that?
It is an energy gun that I think just fires a bunch of rounds. Really weird. Yeah. Then there's this one, which this one's actually chambered in 9mm. I rechambered. They're the same gun, but I rechambered this one to fire 5.56, like a higher caliber cartridge, which is pretty cool. There's also this SOCOM one. I actually haven't seen that in. Ooh, I like the look of that. Yeah, but I just have a bunch of these guns. The Ferryman's still sitting in there. But yeah, anyway.
Nice.
What do I got here? Plenty of stuff. So we're gonna go on a full run right now. Let's go. So. Always like these places because they have those types of. Try to rush through.
This is some music for a game like this.
Hmm? What's that?
Surprisingly chill music.
Oh yeah, like the music in this game's fantastic. This is just the first level of music too. It's like got a nice lo-fi beat to hip hop to and stuff. What's over there actually? Anything? Oh, hello. I just got a stick grenade, so. You always want to check here because you can find. Ooh, nice. Gunslinger oil. What's this? Disables aiming, but increases your reload speed. I can't actually do that. I need to rank up that. That might be good for this one because this has a laser on it, so I don't need to do the aiming, but it will increase the reload speed. Since this only has the one bullet in it, it'll be helpful to increase its reload speed. Oh, am I out of space? Now. Just a ghost. We saw earlier, it kind of went by my screen. That's how you can tell when they're gonna come. I missed.
And a dog.
Okay, doggo.
Angry dog.
Where there's one, there's usually a little bit of a pack. Oh, no, not the teleport. Bitch. Oh, right. I have a thing. I just remembered this. I have a thing that basically means that my gun doesn't always use ammo. I forgot about that. Yeah, well, I play a bunch of different games, not just this. Beyond. This is just the one that I'm kind of currently going through. I need a pot or cooking stove because I don't know. Hefty oil. That I will say about this game that absolutely just makes me love it is the sheer fact that the guns feel amazing to me. despite looking kind of cartoony, not as, I guess, effective, I guess. I don't know how to put it. They're good. Yeah, this is an FPS. It's really nice. It's a roguelite with Tarkov type mechanics. I say Tarkov as if like they invented this style, but not really. It's cool. It's like $20, I think, on Steam. Oh, I just realized these use the same cartridge. Oh, man. Oh no, these don't. This is 762. My mistake. Oh, they look very similar. I just remembered, like, oh yeah, one is using. Ah, here we go. This. That up. Yeah, that's just so I can. Okay, so this got ranked up. So. We go. Gas mask. Cowboy hat. Why is there gas masks here? Poison resistance. If I had space, I'd probably take at least one of them. Take at least one of them. Because then if I get out, I can... Oh, hey. Oh. So I can actually sell this one and sell some more stuff here that I don't need. At least not right now. Then got to go on this YouTube video. This will blow your mind of the game. You can talk about this if you wanted to. I mean, I don't know what YouTube video you're referring to. If you could, like, list the title or something, that would be helpful. Just be like, oh, this YouTube... Ah, shit! Because I'm not...
Getting loads of money.
Yeah.
Yippee!
Oh, right, I can't aim. I forgot. I immediately put that on and immediately forgot about that. Nice. Hello. +1 bullet bounces in there. I can, immediately sell that. What does this do? Gives homing bullets, bullet speed, durability loss. Yeah, sell that. I don't need it. Oh no! Oh, I almost fell.
Oh, you alright there?
I almost fell.
Uh-oh.
If you'll notice, there is a giant hole right there.
Oh.
Okay. Got back. There was a stick right there. Damn it! Oh man. Oh, no, this is where I came in from. Oh, that's right. Keep forgetting. Diving pin, don't need it. Oh god. Oh no, oh no, that's it. Oh jeez. Okay. Ow, 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 ow. That could have been very bad. That could have been very bad. Right. Put this on right now. I'm gonna have to traverse a little bit through the poison. Okay. Cool. Avoided it. Oh, Richter 9. Good gun. Kind of tell I've been playing this game a little bit. So.
Yep.
Where is the door? Oh, it's up there.
Well,
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah. Here we go. Nice. Alright, is it not that? I have completely forgotten what that was. Oh, whatever. Nature. Chance to root targets. Ooh, that might be good. I can. We'll do that. Since have a chance to not use my ammo. I like the art style of this game quite a bit.
Simple but pretty.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's again, it's what I call it's what I call the classic Doom. Oh right, I can make buttered toast.
What?
Well, you put butter and bread together and you make buttered toast sandwiches.
Well, I know that, but in this game?
Yeah, no, this game's cooking mechanics are basically like the low-tier crafting. They're really good if you know what you're doing. You have to figure out the recipes, though, on your own just by throwing shit together. But normally, like, things that you would expect to work well, oh gosh. Need to not panic. There's some stuff up here. Oh, that's cool. That's another 9 mil. Both of those are pretty decent. Hoping to be able to store or sell them since they're at level 0. None of them had rock on them. They did. Nope. It was back this way. I think it was. So check this out. You put a rock and potato together, you get mashed potatoes. I mean, that's technically how you make it. You just smash the potatoes with a rock, you know? Caveman style. So, that's fine. Another convenient door. Scroll of East resistance. Yeah. So the upgrades in this are really cool because you can have like attachments, but you can also have the enchantments like I've been collecting, where you get different positives and negatives depending on like what you do and how you do like things. Like the reload speed, but I can't aim anymore is a pretty decent one. This one not being able to utilize ammo, or it still fires, but it doesn't utilize the ammo is a big plus. It means that the clip is technically bigger than you think it is. But it's only a chance, and it's usually like fair. I like it. It's pretty neat. The one problem that someone else had with this game is the fact that once you enchant or put like an attachment to the gun, you can't really get it back once you do, which is fine. Not great. Oh no. Ah. Here we go. This thing. So this game is pretty long. Yeah. I mean, again, I've only played about 10 hours about this, and this is still technically the first area. But it's a roguelite. It's meant to be played like through multiple times. So yeah, really need to like. Like, oh, this game was pretty long. Like, you expect the game to be short? If that's your expectation, I have a bridge to sell you. Oh, the Pope hat. I kind of want that. It's only single player. I'm sorry. All it does is provide another jump, so not really worth now. It's not for my current build. So it's well worth the price though. Like I said, it's like $20 or something. So not the worst. Definitely worth the money in my opinion. If you love Silk Songs, it's kind of like that, but not really. It's just really depends. I really should get rid of some of this stuff that I don't need right now. Just this, and this. Can't find anyone to sell that stuff to. Not really around. Goodness. That is a lot of stuff. Anything over there? Nope. Right in the dome. Okay. So things are coming up here. What do I want to do? Got plenty of like blowy up things, plenty of stuff to use here. I am not ill-equipped for this at all. Alright, let's go! Mini boss time. Wow, okay. This. Nice, good. Okay. And this is about as far as I've made it as of right now. So from here on out is all new stuff. Okay. I'm always... I mean... Why does my stream always... Yeah, the stream, I don't know why, it's internet things. I can tell you that it's internet things. The reason being is because the internet's not the greatest here, at least. It's good and it functions, but like, I don't know why. I'm using several different things. I know what the problem is. It's my internet just cutting out and then cutting back in. I've dealt with this problem. I can't really fix it without troubleshooting a couple things, but I mean, again, I don't really know what to do to try to fix it. It happens, and it seems to only be on Twitch where it fully disconnects and then starts a new thing. That's how I end up with... Jesus. It's just the internet that cuts out, and Twitch doesn't like it if you don't have a stable internet. So it'll, whoa. What the fuck is that? Wizard. Fine. Thought I could take it easy. Oh, no, not this thing again. How to take advantage of the AI being a little bit dumb. But yeah, that's
Oh,
not how
what
I
just happened?
Nothing.
Oh.
Let me give you the title of the Neuralink mind control video of a video game by looking at the... Oh, that thing? The video that you're talking about? 'Cause I remember hearing about that, where someone was controlling... Ow! Oh, that's a fire! Oh, that's fire! Oh, no. Okay, so I guess from here on out there's gonna be more wizards. That's weird. Yeah, but I have heard of that Neuralink thing a little bit. Not much. Just the fact that it goes... Jesus. Here, take a grenade. Oh, what the hell is this? Get that out of here. Alright, cool. Let's see. We're probably...
Carrots.
Huh? What?
I need carrots.
You need carrots for what?
Thing.
A female made a Neuralink video. This will blow your mind. So the title is The Elder Girls and when Mind Control. Just what? Oh, wait, is that the... I remember hearing that it was a story. I don't remember when that was. I remember hearing that someone did beat it with their mind. Like, I don't know if it was the Neuralink or something. I do remember hearing that now that I'm thinking on it. Like, I didn't know that that's the one that you're talking about. Like...
Where are the...
Nice. Spanish omelet. I think I need more. I need more mushrooms. For mushroom soup. Ah, here we go. Luckily, there is mushrooms around. Broth. Oh, does it have to be 3 of the same type of mushroom? Oh, man. Alright. Come on. There we go. Whew. No, I don't think so. I'm saying that you'll have a better control of... Oh, okay. Hello, boss time. Boss time. What the? What now? The juicy, sweet skin that goes snap. I will go alive for sport. I will thank Skewer for this. Yeah. If he not next on the list to eat. List. Crave enough food causing straws, or we get hungry and die. We get hungry and die. Alright, fine. Let's go. Oh, what the fuck? Dude, oh my god, you gotta be kidding me, no. I can't die here. game does get harder. Okay, whatever. Fuck this. Ow! Oh, more of this? Oh, come on. Took a lot out.
Chicken.
Right. Storage. Warren. Was that even? Okay. I think I need one more slot. Oh, I didn't. Cool. Oh, an elevator. Okay. Up we go. Sweet. New storage. Oh. I am back out here. And the goop is gone. It's moved. That's neat. Anything new? Could be the crazy access. Okay. Interesting. So I get to actually explore around this place now.
Sweet.
Yeah, because there was that whole big gas, or not really gas, but a whole big goop wall. Interesting. That's cool, though. That's really cool, though. Oh, hello! Wow! So I can now store stuff in the suitcase, I guess. That's cool. Oh, that's neat. So now I have more storage. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, so I think what I'll do is I'll take out all of the food from this place and store that in, like, the suitcase. That will be for food. This will be for, like, guns. Guns and such. Because guns are going to take up a lot of storage space. Having a designated spot to put a lot of the guns would be amazing. That's neat. Right, cool. get to the part of the game that's always fun. It's just doing a whole bunch of just storage. It's awesome. Cool.
Optimal.
Optimal storage, yeah. Alright. Let's see. I really wish that you could sell... Oh, what the hell? Whoa. That's cool. Can I buy it? Ooh, nice. Wonderful.
Nice.
Okay. So you can access both that here. And how much is this again for the safe? 32,000. And my current is 1,800 or 18K. That's still weird. But yeah, that makes sense though.
Fantastic.
What do you got here? Silencer could be good. Repair kit. What are these looking like?
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Oh, I think Stell is going to,
Are they going to also stream?
yeah, she said live when they get home.
I haven't been paying attention because I've been busy. Wait. What time is it?
2:47.
That is right. You know what? Actually, I think they don't allow call it. I mean, I accomplished what I did, and I've been going for 3 hours anyway, so yeah. I'm just gonna store this away for later. New gun, though. Good for next time. Anyway, I think that'll about do it. I can just remember to... Okay, there we go. Save and exit. Alright, cool. In that context, I just realized I have somewhere else that I need to be. So,
Alright.
in that way, I will be going. To everyone in chat and stuff that are still around, thank you so much for coming around. My friend, Moment of Sanity, will be streaming probably just about when I'm finishing up. Because I just realized I have another place to be, and I also need to go to the bathroom and get some lunch. Other than that, new videos this week, new stuff happening. Not much. My roundup will be next week, and I am releasing new music this Saturday. My Tuesday video is going to say, oh, it's going to be released this Thursday. Nope, I lie. I'm sorry. It's going to be released this Saturday. It is Singles in Your Area. That's the name of the album. Check the Bandcamp and stuff if you care. With all that being said, thank you so much for coming on by, checking on stuff. And see you around. Peace off for now.
Bye-bye.